Hi, I'm Gab, and today I'm reviewing the new Robin Hood. I say the new because the one that's in most people's minds maybe is the one of almost 19 years ago, the Robin Hood one, or depending on what generation you are, maybe it's one that's older than that. There's been several Robin Hood movies, but this latest version is starring Russell Crowe, directed by his frequent collaborator Ridley Scott, most famously from their collaboration of Gladiator, and quite anticipated. And is it worth it? Well, there's been mixed reaction. The main sort of negative feedback on this version is the story. It's presented as an origin story, and so that being the background to the Robin Hood character, how he became the iconic Robin Hood character of legend that he's known for. So the way that the script handles this is it starts with Robin Hood, who's not called that. He's Robin Longstride, pretty much a nobody, an archer in King Lionheart's crusades at the turn of the 12th century. I'm a little weak on my ancient England, France history, but it's all that sort of stuff. And he's an archer. He's got his buddies. He's basically just a hired hand in the Crusades. But when the king dies, he and his buddies assume the identities of knights in order to get back home and sort of, get their freedom back and get on with their lives and get back to England safely. And so it's sort of a misunderstood identity story when he gets back to England, and it goes on from there. Meets Maid Marian, all the usual characters are sort of assembling, but he's not quite the rob from the rich, give to the poor freedom fighter yet. It shows how he sort of becomes involved in community issues, so to speak, when he gets back to his native soil. So it is an origins story, but it's done with a lot more supposed historical context and maybe some liberties taken with the characters as we sort of imagine them, like Friar Tuck and Little John, but they're all there, and Maid Marian. There's just sort of twists to them. So I enjoyed the story. I didn't have a problem with that. You can look at it as an origin story. I think it served that purpose well, or you could look at it as just a separate story unto itself, which I sort of did at the same time, and it was quite satisfying in that way as well. I mean, Russell Crowe is always quite magnetic, at least I think so. He's good in these period pieces as sort of a rough and tumble with a heart of gold kind of guy. He's good at that. I like it. The supporting cast was good. Direction was quite robust. There's some good action scenes, nothing spectacular. I mean, you can feel like you've seen it all, even if you just watch the History Channel. You've sort of seen this sort of thing, but it had an authentic feel to it. Gritty violence, and certainly the art direction and cinematography to me had a very sort of gritty, authentic, historical feel. It didn't feel like you were watching a Hollywood set backlot by any stretch of the imagination. Had a real verite to it, which I enjoyed. A little sort of long in the tooth. It was definitely a numb bum movie for me. I think it's definitely pushing 2.5 hours, and so the script could have been tighter, more action, less talky, less, so now we're on this shore, now we're on that shore, oh, the French are coming, when are they going to get there? A little bit too much political backroom dealings, but nothing that intriguing. Maybe if there had been more historical context, it would have been a little bit more interesting. So at the end of the day, I mean, the main weakness for me was that I didn't feel that emotional grip that I have felt in the past from, again, referring to Gladiator, where that's that very personal connection to the central character where, you really want to see justice served. Or something like Braveheart I was thinking about a lot as well. Similar story, but a lot more stirring of emotion when it comes to the plight of the people, as well as the central character. So you as that film viewer, you feel that rise in your gut of what you're watching and wanting to see great justice served. And at the end of the day, I didn't feel that emotional compellingness in this particular version. So in that way, a bit of a disappointment. But generally, pretty satisfying, entertaining romp, as they say. If you like this kind of genre, I would recommend it. I give it a solid B, the latest Robin Hood. Meanwhile, stay tuned for our latest gab'n'dad DVD giveaway. I just reviewed the Ridley Scott, Russell Crowe version of Robin Hood, the latest take on this legend. But if you're not too impressed with this version, even if you are, but feeling sentimental or curious about its predecessor of almost 20 years ago now, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, starring Kevin Costner, bit of a guilty pleasure. If you'd like to win this DVD, this is gab'n'dad's May DVD giveaway. You need to be a gab'n'dad subscriber, so hopefully you are. If not, why let others enjoy all the riches of gab'n'dad? Subscribe. By the end of May, we will draw a random subscriber's name to receive Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Everything we do it for you.